Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and some exciting news regarding Battlefront 2 because the Infiltrator Reinforcement Community Transmission is finally here, and the two new reinforcements that we are getting on the 26th together with the new game mode are the ARC Troopers and Commando Droids. So those were the two most speculated ones, I would say, together with potentially the Republic Commandos. So it's really cool to see that something that a lot of people in the community have been speculating and hoping for will actually be added to the game. And both of these will be part of the new Infiltrator Reinforcement class, which means that they will also have their own new star cards for their abilities. If we start off with the ARC Trooper, you can see this awesome gif with the ARC Trooper running forward and then rolling around. And yes, as you can see, the ARC Trooper will be dual wielding, which as far as I know is actually the first time in any DICE game that, a trooper will have dual wielding. And I know this was something they tweeted about last year, how they were prototyping that during one of their special events they have every now and then at DICE. So I'm very glad that this actually became reality and not just something they prototyped. So yes, you will be able to dual wield pistols and fire them independently, effectively doubling his rate of fire, and he will be having DC-17 pistols. And since the ARC Trooper has short-range blasters, you need something more versatile for more distant foes, and one of the ARC Trooper's abilities is Power Blast, an ability that overcharges his primary pistol to fire a powerful blast, giving his otherwise short to medium ranged arsenal a ranged attack that can also be useful against vehicles. Aim your shot well and it might do just as well against an enemy villain too. And just reading the name here kind of gives me some PTSD from Lando's Power Blast in the previous game. I'm like 100% sure it's not going to be the same, obviously, but just reading that name, Power Blast, brings back some bad memories from Battlefront 2015, but I'm excited to see how it's actually going to work out. And then moving on, for additional battle awareness, the ARC can activate his helmet scanner, which lowers his rangefinder. This emits a continuous scan pulse to reveal enemies even through walls. The time between the pulses is longer than how long enemies will be revealed by each pulse, so you will still need general battle awareness not to lose track of your foes. So basically, they won't be kind of like a wall hack where you see them all the time, but you will see them pulsate through the wall and then you have to guess where they are until it pulsates the next time. But that's still a really good way to just give you an idea of where the enemies might be hiding. And lastly, when encountering a powerful enemy, the ARC Trooper can even the odds with his shock trap. It's a throwable device that is manually detonated, a bit like Lando's, and delivers an electrical current that knocks down any enemies within its range. This is useful both for flanking larger groups of enemies and for tipping the scale in favor for you and your allies, including if you need a tactical retreat. So this sounds really interesting. It sounds basically like it is like Lando's ability, but instead of shocking people in place, it will knock you down, which means, yes, you can't just shoot them in the head while they're stunned. So it's not as strong as Lando's Disabler, which is really good. This does sound like a useful yet balanced addition to the ARC Trooper. So overall, I just like that they've given the ARC Trooper some exciting new abilities, and it does sound like I'm probably never gonna pick the Wookiee or the Ariel again because this sounds so much more fun and more unique and probably more powerful as well than the other reinforcements. But they haven't given us any battle point cost in this community transmission, so my guess is that it's gonna be somewhere in between the reinforcement and the hero. It can't be too expensive because then you might as well get a hero, but not too cheap either if it's really good. And if we then move on to the BX droid or the Commando droid, they say that the BX droid is arguably one of the most lethal units in the Separatist army. Armed with a modified E5 blaster rifle commonly used by the B1 battle droids, the BX trades rate of fire for higher precision in long-range encounters. With the modified blaster covering the BX at longer range, it also wields a vibro sword to get the edge it needs to excel in close quarters combat. Using either the melee button or the Sinister Strikes ability, both have the same function, the BX droid can unleash up to 3 sword strikes in a row before requiring a brief cooldown. While the strikes don't deal much more damage than a regular trooper's melee, they are significantly faster, and the final strike is so powerful it will knock down an enemy to the ground. The BX can also deploy a smoke screen by throwing a smoke bomb at its feet. The surrounding area will immediately be filled with very dense smoke that even removes basic UI elements like name tags and outlines, so the enemy view is blocked. And lastly, you can pair the smoke screen with its final ability, Thermal Vision, for a devastating result. It makes the BX eyes glow red and allows it to see where enemies are located, including through walls and other obstructions. This ability also scrambles enemy scanners to further confuse and disorient them. So I kind of feel like all of these abilities really link together well. I mean, if you throw down a smoke screen, pop the thermal vision, and then run in with your vibro sword, and the enemy won't be able to see what's coming because they're going to be scrambled, the UI will be gone because of the smoke screen, and then bam, someone pops up and melees you faster than you can react. And the fact that the third ability will knock down similarly to Phasma, that means that you might be actually a good counter against heroes as well. And I'm assuming it's probably a bit faster than Phasma's staff strikes, which means that getting to that third knockdown strike probably won't be that hard, because with Phasma it's tricky to land 3 in a row, as you will either kill them before that or they will be able to roll out of the way. Hopefully that won't be the case here, and I don't know, I just think both of these reinforcements sound really exciting. It's not just, oh, here's a model of a new reinforcements with a normal blaster, but they all have multiple unique abilities, and I'm very excited to test these out in the game. It does sound like they're gonna be a fun addition, and I'm also glad that we're gonna get them in Galactic Assault as well for the prequel era map. So by the time the new mode is out, I really hope that they will have some prequel era only rotations and similarly, so that we can get a chance to play these as much as possible. And then we have the 5 star cards available for the units, and they will be shared between both of them, which is probably also why they have kind of similar abilities, since the star cards need to work for both. So first of all, Evasion, you unlock this at level 2, and you have +1 combat roll and faster combat roll recharge times. Sounds like it could probably be really good for both of them. And the next one, Desperation, also for level 2, reduces ability recharge times when damage is dealt to you. Interesting mechanic, but well, it sounds like both of them will be useful. And then if you move on to the next level, which is level 5, we have Interrogation, forcefully reveal nearby enemy locations by defeating an opponent using melee strikes. This one sounds like it will most likely be good for the BX droid, but maybe not so much for the ARC Trooper, considering the ARC Trooper just has normal melee, but the BX droid has well, a better melee. So, and plus they both already have a scan ability, so I don't think this is gonna be my go-to card, but we'll see. And then another level 5 card, Acquisition. Enemies dealing damage to you will be temporarily marked for easier retaliation. I kind of got a feeling that one might be a little bit more helpful than the one previously. But then lastly, at level 10, there's one called Stalker. Regain health when defeating an enemy you have revealed with helmet scanner or thermal vision. So this one does sound pretty good. They made the star cards a bit more unique here than the current reinforcements, where it's just normal kill, health on kill, get extra health and that kind of stuff. But these are a bit more unique, which is fun to see. And I don't know how much health they're gonna have and how good the health regeneration is gonna be, but if it's similar to the other reinforcements, I don't know how helpful it's gonna be to just get health back after you've scanned someone. I kind of almost think that the first 2 sounds like the best one, and then as a third one, that's probably one that's gonna be trickier to choose. But nevertheless, good star cards, no one that sounds too OP, and they all sound like they could still have some use. None of them will probably be left in the dark and never be used. And lastly, at the end they say that these 2 new reinforcements will deploy alongside the new game mode this month. The next community transmission will detail the mode fully, including what it's called and what your objectives will be within it. The update is slated for release on the 26th of March. Additionally, the Infiltrator class is available without any credit cost for all players. So I think that sounds fantastic. I don't know, I'm really happy with these reveals, and I feel like they've met the community's expectations with these. Obviously we haven't played them and can't judge them that way, but based on the abilities, which reinforcements they went with and so on, I think they did a really good choice. Yeah, I'm excited to see these in action and also learn more details about the new game mode later this week as well, because if you missed it, they did confirm that we will be getting 2 community transmissions this week, so look forward to that. But that's all I've got for you now. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the force be with you.